Welcome. My name is Brian, Metroline Driving Academy. Today we're going to discuss on part 4 on how to start a driving school. How to approach the young people as far as how to make them at ease with driving. A lot of times teenagers are very, very nervous. New drivers are very, very nervous when they start out. A lot of times it's just how you approach them. In other words, if you go in and you're making them at ease, make them feel at home, maybe just kind of make them smile a little bit, you'll find that they'll open up more, they'll be more confident, and they will really, to be honest with you, become better drivers faster, because if you're at ease, they're at ease. That's one thing I've learned. When I first started out, I would sit in the passenger seat with a clipboard and try to help them out. And what I've learned when I did the clipboard idea and the little test and mark off stuff and try to help them is that over a period of time they get nervous, because every time you click the pen or every time you write something down, they're going to be nervous. They're going to want to know in the back of their mind what they did wrong. They may have not done anything wrong at all. You may find that they're more worried about their grade at this point than how well they drive. So over a period of time, I got rid of the clipboard idea. I've done it so many years now that I know what I'm looking for in a safe, cautious driver. Self-defense is one thing, being safe, being cautious, obviously doing the maneuvers correctly and doing things timed and timed and smooth. So most of my drivers, to be honest with you, if you take the laid back approach and just, hey, it's a piece of cake type thing, you'll find that they'll feel that way. And if they feel that way, the parents feel that way, and before you know it, you've got a good reference. And that's not the main reason you do this, but if you have a ultra nervous type individual in the front of the driver's seat, it's going to make you nervous as well. Even though you got a side brake and you're kind of anticipate their every move, you're kind of on guard, and rightfully so. You don't want to have any accidents, or you don't want to have any bad feelings on their end, so that they can progress each time that they drive. I drive 3 2-hour shifts here in North Carolina. You're required to have 6 hours, so I drive 3 2-hour shifts. So the first day, I'm kind of making it really easy for them as far as laid back approach, and then we get a little harder as we go throughout the 6 hours. However, if the first 2 hours are really good and have it to where they're comfortable with you and they trust you, main thing is trust. I'll tell them, just trust me, and they will. By the second day, the third day, they'll do stuff. They'll achieve their goals faster that way. My second day, and I'll tell them right up front, today you're going to accomplish more than you ever thought you were today. And they do, and they step back, and they're kind of at awe at themselves, or amazed at themselves. And what it boils down to is they just had to have a little confidence. If you go in ultra tense, then that's the driver you're going to produce. The second day, as I mentioned, they achieve a lot. My thought is, what I'll do is the second day or beginning of the third, I'll kind of take them back to where we were the first day, and you'll be surprised by doing it this way. They'll be surprised at where they thought 20 miles an hour, let's just hypothetically say, was fast, and they couldn't believe they were going. But if they finally get up to like 55, 45, somewhere like that, miles an hour, then and then they go back to 20, then it kind of builds even more confidence, because they're like, why was I nervous to start with? And so the third day, when you tackle bigger projects with them, then they're more like, okay, let's go. And instead of I don't know, they kind of give you a wishy-washy type answer. But by doing it this way, you kind of break the ice. I get to know them a little bit. Maybe they play sports. I relate a lot to driving with sports. For those who are watching this video, if you can find something to relate to them, then they'll feel like you're one of them, and that you've been there, done that, and so they trust you more. You're one of them, but also too that they're just more relaxed. Sometimes in driving, things happen that you don't anticipate. But if you're relaxed and calm about it, and you get yourself out of that situation, and then maybe get nervous or whatever, or maybe kind of go, wow, how did I get out of that situation? Well, if you're tense to start with, then it's going to make it worse. So I try to tell the students that as we're going through the process each and every day, I'm trying to get them relaxed and go through the motions and go through the proper stuff, and then of course brag on them when they succeed. Something like maybe a 3-point turn, or maybe parking on the right hand side. That's the harder side, because you have to look over the passenger, plus try to find the lines and stuff of that nature. Or maybe they're learning how to back up into a parking space without using their parents' backup cameras, and so they're doing it like the old school way. So it's really just a get to know you type situation. Try to get on their level, some capacity. As I mentioned with me with sports, I had a young man that was a fencing expert, and I picked his brain about fencing. I don't know anything about the sport of fencing. I think it's a pretty cool sport. Rugby would be another one. Lacrosse would be another one. So if I find a student that I have never been associated with that particular sport or something like that, I try to relate driving to. Once they figure out that they can focus in sports and focus on driving are pretty much the same. You're focused, so you're in the zone, so to speak. Excuse me, that those who are playing sports know what I'm talking about. And I try to tell students it's kind of like you're going to a tournament, you're excited, whatever sport they play, you're excited, you're pumped up, your energy, and you're ready to go. Once the ball is in the air, so to speak, or once the game is on, it's game on. You're pretty much focused, and you're there to do the job and try to win the tournament or ball game or whatever it is that you're excited for, whether it's a state championship or something of that nature. So it's really just up to them and just building their confidence just slowly. I'm not going to yell at them or scream out. I don't see the need. As long as they're listening to me, the main thing is you have to still, even though you've got their trust, even though that they believe in you and trust you 100%, you still have to be in charge of that car, because they may do something erratic or spontaneous, and you still have to be on your game. Whether or not they're on their game or not, they're learning, but it's still up to you to stop the car or dodge trash can or something like that. It's still up to you. So by you still on your game, you have to associate with them. Another thing too, by you talking with them, it teaches them to, you want to be able to have them focus strictly on the road, but let's face it, when they get 16, 17, 18, They're going to have friends in the car, or husband or wife in the car, kids in the car, grandparents, parents, whoever, and they're going to be talking to them, and they're going to be conversing back and forth. So really, you have to know how to talk and still stay focused. I won't let the students look at me as they're going down the road. I'll politely just say, please look at the road constantly. You can answer my questions. You can talk with me. However you need to talk with me, that is fine. But do not turn your head away from the road. And they get that. They start understanding that, hey, I can talk to him at the same time and still look at the road. And then there's times when you're riding with them, I'm just completely quiet. I let them try to figure things out. While I'm watching like a hawk, I'm watching every move they're making. I still want them to figure out how fast to go into a turn, or how slow, or how sharp the turn is. And so they need to adjust the speed accordingly. A lot of times I do tell them slow down, brakes, things like that. And that's perfectly normal, but there'll be times, if it's a safe environment, I'll let them try to figure things out. Another thing what I do occasionally is, I won't tell them there's a stop sign. I'll see if there's, like if we're in a neighborhood and nobody's around, and if they run it, I'll tell them immediately what they did. And what happens is really a neat process, because if someone accidentally runs a red light, they're so concerned about running, not red light, sorry, a stop sign, that they won't do it again. You've kind of scared them into not doing it again, or being more cautious and being more alert. And see, this way, there's a stop sign, I know what to do. Okay? I know what to do instantly. You'll teach them the techniques of braking, come to a smooth stop, hand over hand turns, 10 and 2 steering wheel, things like that will obviously come into play. It'll come into play a lot, actually. But that trust factor, once you get them kind of trusting you, then they'll listen to you more. Okay? This is part 4. If you like the video, please like it. Subscribe to the channel. Hope to make some more videos soon. This is my series on how to start a driving school. Next class, or next session, video session, I'll talk more about the actual classroom. I just completed a classroom session today, actually, that I can go over what happened, what didn't happen, and things of that nature. Thank you, and have a great day.